Everyone. Today we will start with a new phylum, that is a phylum Platyhelminthes. Phylum Platyhelminthes include a flatworms, that is Platyhelminthes means platy means flat and helminthes means worms. So they include a flatworms. They are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic organism without an anus. Okay, they are found either free living, okay, or they are in also found in a parasitic form. Okay, so in this today's lecture we will study only the general characteristic of the phylum Platyhelminthes. So as I already said that the Platyhelminthes are the also known as the flatworms. They are bilaterally symmetrical. What is symmetry? uh, Symmetry refers to the arrangement of the structures in an animal in relation to the central axis. So here they possess bilaterally symmetrical, that is the body can be split into two equal half by only one plane. Okay, and in this symmetry the body parts are arranged on the two sides of the central axis. Okay, so they are bilateral symmetry. Okay, and they are a coelomate organism, that is a coelomate means the cavity lying between the body wall and the alimentary canal is filled with the parenchyma. Okay, hence there is no coelom, but this condition or in such animal they are referred to as a coelomate. And this coelomate organism like Platyhelminthes is an example of the coelomate organism. Okay, then the triploblastic, that is the body wall consists of three layers. Triploblastic means the body wall consists of three layers, that is outer epidermis, inner ectoderm, and in between there will be the mesoderm. Okay, uh, before this, when we were studying the phylum Cnidaria and about Porifera, they were diploblastic organism. That is, their body wall is consist of two layers only. That is outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. But here there is for the first time there is a formation of the three layers. That is a triploblastic organism. Okay, and that is they are present they have a three embryonic layers, that are outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and in between them there will be another layer that will be mesoderm. Okay. Sorry, the body is usually uh, elongated and slender with a leaf like all the structure, the body is elongated or slender, or in some they will be like leaf like or long or even ribbon like. Okay, then they are also the body is has uh, they are bilaterally symmetrical. The body is dorso-ventrally flattened. Okay, and they are free swimming, that is uh, they are found in a free environment, or they are parasitic form, that is they are depend on other organism for their uh, all the metabolic processes. For example, for respiration, for the food and all, they will be depend on a other organism. Okay, so they also shows a parasitic form. This parasitic form may be either ectoparasite or endoparasite. Ecto means they will be present outside the body of the host. Okay, and endoparasite means the the parasite will be present inside the body of the host. What is a host? The host is the parasite depends on or will totally dependent on the organism from where it takes all its nutrients for the survival. Is referred that organism is referred to the host. Okay, from the host this parasite will receive all its energy or nutrients. Okay, so There are two type of parasites, that is endoparasite and ectoparasite. Ectoparasite are found on the lives outside the body of the host, and endo in inside the body of the host, or they are also found in a free living form. Okay, then the body wall, um, body wall is triploblastic, that is there will be presence of outer epidermis, inner mesoderm, and at the inner one will be endoderm. Okay, three layers. So in epidermis in the free living forms have a single layer with the ciliated cells. Okay, and whereas in the parasitic form there will be syncytial layer that lacks cilia. Okay, but they also shows a well developed muscle layers. Okay, so there will be two layers around the body wall, that is a circular muscle and a longitudinal muscle. There is no rigid skeleton formation for the muscle to act on, but a thick muscle layer in a pharynx will be present, that is in the feeding tube, and that make it prehensile. Okay, for the first time organ grade of organization is observed, that is here the tissue aggregates together to form a organ. For example, nephridium in a platyhelminthes. Okay, whereas in Cnidarian what happened, there is a tissue level of organization is seen, but here it is level of organization has been seen, that is there is tissue aggregates together to form a organs. Okay, the next point is some have body segmented, that is um, the segmentation in platyhelminthes is said to be a pseudo metamerism. Okay, then feeding that is feeding and digestion. The free living forms are mainly carnivorous, while most of the species are endoparasite, that is they are depend on a host for the all their nutrients. So uh, there is incomplete digestive tract in most of the platyhelminthes. Okay, as they are dependent on the host for their all the nutrients. Okay, so there will be radial like already digested food will be available, so they just need to absorb it, no need of digestion. Okay, so mostly extracellular digestion, while some intracellular are after phagocytosis. Okay, no respiratory system, that is in a flatworms have a high surface and a volume ratio, gas exchange to the flattened body wall. Okay, whereas the in the parasitic form there will be anaerobic respiration will be seen, that is the respiration is without the presence of oxygen. Okay, so nervous system, here the nervous system is well developed, that is a ladder like, and it is formed of longitudinal that is yes, longitudinal nerve cords with the ganglia, and a pair of the anterior ganglia that forms the brain. Okay, the longitudinal nerve cords are connected together in a transverse connections. Okay, that is nervous system, and that is the present of the cephalic there will be presence of cephalization, that is there will be distinct head will be present, and where the all the sensory organs will be located. Okay, for example in the flatworms they probably have in a first creature to have a brain and head with the cephalic ganglia, so they have a simple brain. Okay, and they also have a pair of ventral nerve cords that are connected by a ladder like interconnections. Then excretion, the excretion is the simplest, that is a major phylum with the excretory system. Some waste like ammonia are eliminated by the diffusion through the body wall, and others have a primitive excretory system, that is a protonephridia. That is a tube closed at one end and existing body at another end. Okay, in the most of the this type of protonephridia forms of this flame cells. Okay, then the reproduction, many of the platyhelminthes shows reproduce by sexually and asexually by fission. Then in the fission, what happens, sometimes they produce a chain of a zooids also. Okay, and this superficial is resembles as a segmentation. Okay, then another one is the regeneration. uh, they have a high power of regeneration. Okay, that is, if they lost some part, they can replace it, and also they can recover from a long food uh, shortage. If there is not availability of the food, then they can also recover it. Okay, then the budding, that is tapeworm bird of by proglottids. Okay, as already said, they are segmented, they have a segmented body, so each segment is called as a proglottids, and this proglottid can give rise to the full organism. Okay, that is budding. Okay, and it is also known as a reproductive sac. In a polyembryony, for example in flukes, one egg can be produced thousands of the larvae, and this increases the finding the chance of host. Okay, then in asexual, what happens, they are platyhelminthes are hermaphroditic, that is, both male and female reproductive organs are present in the same animal. Okay, so they shows a cross fertilization, not a self fertilization, and some with the internal fertilization. Okay, and development is direct or indirect. Endoparasite shows usually indirect development with many larval stages in their life cycle, and they complete its life cycle within a one or two host. Okay, that is in endoparasite. uh, Okay, and there are also in a free living as well as in parasites, worms, there will be presence of adhesive organs like hooks, spines, suckers, and adhesive secretion in order to attach to the substratum, hold to the surface of body of the host. Okay, so this is the today's lecture, that is we have studied the general characteristic of phylum Platyhelminthes. So once again we will revise, that is Platyhelminthes is the flat worms with the bilaterally symmetrical or coelomate organism with a triploblastic body wall. Okay, they are either free living or maybe found in parasitic form. For the first time, organ level of organization has been seen, that is in the Platyhelminthes. They have a segmented body, that is also known as a pseudometamerism, and this for example in tapeworm, the segmented body is called as a proglottid, and this proglottid can give rise to the help in a reproduction, that is asexual reproduction. Okay, they the free living ones are carnivorous, whereas the most of the organisms that belong to the phylum Platyhelminthes are parasitic form. So the parasitic form will be showing incomplete digestive system. Why incomplete digestive system? Because they have readily available full food is there, nutrients, so which is already digested by the host, so they just absorb the energy in absorb it nutrients, so there is no need of digestion, they get already digested food is available, so there is no need of digestive tract, so they show incomplete digestive tract. Okay, and also they don't have the anus. Okay, Then the no respiratory system is present. Nervous system is well developed, because here what happened, number of ganglia fuse together to form a brain like structure. It is not a brain, but the number of ganglia, okay, that fuses, two or three, that resembles like a brain, and there will be uh, nerve cords will be connecting to the different ganglia, giving the structure as a ladder like nervous system. They have a distinct head, they show a distinct head, so the most of the sensory organs will be present on the head, okay. Then the excretory system is form of the protonephridia, one of the primitive type of the excretory system. And the protonephridia has a flame cells, okay. Then the reproduction is either sexual or asexual. In asexual, they show fission, regeneration, budding, and polyembryony. Fission, what happens? They fuse, okay. Whereas regeneration, what happens? In a regeneration, they have the ability to if one part is lost, then there is a high ability to recover it, okay. And even there is no food availability, they can survive, okay. In budding, what happens, for example, that proglotid, this one this one proglotid can give rise to the whole organism, that is for example in tapeworm, okay. Then the polyembryony, that is one, for example in flukes, what happen, one egg can give rise to the number of thousands of larvae, okay. That is, this all help in a survival of this organism, okay. The fertilization is internal or the uh, internal, and basically the fertilization is in a sexual reproduction, that is, they are hermaphrodite, the both male and female gametes will be present, and they show a self and cross fertilization, okay. Development is direct or indirect, okay. And most important thing, they show a adhesive organs, that is the hook, spine, suckers, and adhesive secretion will be present, which helps in the attachment to the substratum in a free living. Whereas in the for example in a parasite, they helps in a attachment to the surface of the, or the inner layer, or the lumen of the host, okay. So with this, we have completed the general characteristic of platyhelminthes. Thank you.